Hello, in this video we will learn the concept of missing data pattern. The missing data pattern describes the location of the missing values in our dataset. However, it tells us nothing about why the data are missing. Nonetheless, the pattern of missing values plays an important role with regard to the theoretical justification and the application of the approaches for dealing with missing values. There are several possible missing data patterns, but in this video we will be looking only at 3 of them. Let us start with the simplest missing data pattern, an univariate pattern, where the missing values occur only in one variable. Let us consider the following example. Suppose that we are interested in the relationship between the number of children living in a household and hourly wage. And let us further suppose that while for all households the number of children is recorded, the hourly wage is not recorded for all households. So we have one variable with missing values. And this can be trivially extended to the case where we have several variables, but only one variable has missing values. And this is depicted here in this figure. In this case, we have 4 variables and only the 4th variable has missing values. And we will be assuming in this video and in the next ones that we have a rectangular data matrix where the rows represent the subjects or the statistical units and the columns represent the variables. For instance, in our example, the rows would be the households, Y1 would be the number of children living in the household, and Y2 would be the hourly wage. And the univariate pattern is important for historical reasons, and it was the earliest one receiving attention in the literature. Let us now move to a monotone missing data pattern, and a monotone pattern is depicted here in this figure. So for a monotone pattern, the data set can be arranged, so we can rearrange the rows and or the columns of our data set such that if a subject has a missing value for one column, then for all the other columns, it has also missing values. And monotone patterns arise in the context of longitudinal studies. We have seen an example in the last video, and for instance, suppose that we have participants enrolled in a trial and that the Y's represents the visits to the hospital to record some outcome of interest. And so, for instance, once a participant does not appear in one of the visits, it will not appear in any subsequent visit. So it dropped out from the study, as we have learned in the previous video. And we can see that a monotone pattern resembles like a staircase, right? Once you have missing values for one of the variables, for one of the time points, all the other time points for the same subject will be missing as well. And this is what I just said. And let us now move to the last pattern that we will be learning, and it's the most general pattern in which any set of variables might have missing values for any subject. So it's something of this type. We have variables and missing values can occur in any variable for any subject, and obviously a general pattern cannot be reduced to a univariate pattern because we have missing values in several variables, and it cannot also be reduced to a monotone pattern, so we cannot rearrange the rows and the columns such as we have like a staircase. And as an example of a general pattern and keeping with the example that we had before, suppose now that for some households we have a record of the number of children living in that household, but we do not have information about the hourly wage. And in contrast, for some other households, we have information about the hourly wage, but we have not recorded the number of children that live in this household. And this would lead to a general pattern, as we have missing values for both variables and for several subjects. And that would be everything for this video. It was short, but I prefer to do two separate videos for missing data patterns and for the next one, missing data mechanisms, than rather a very long one. Thank you.